Welcome, riding buddies. I've been sitting around thinking of manufacturers that most people have no idea of their history. So I came up with Aramaki. I know of the link with Harley Davidson, but little else after that. After a lot of research, I've come up with what I hope is an accurate history report. There are actually a lot of conflicting stories, as expected, with a manufacturer containing so many twists and turns in their history. Aramaki originally started out building planes in 1912, using the name Aeronautica Maki. But I'm not going into that side. We're here to talk motorbikes. In 1951, Aramaki branched out into the motorcycle world. This is where we pick up their story. Like most of these small motorcycle manufacturers, they started out building domestic runaround commuters. Their first bike released to the public was a cross between a scooter and a real motorbike. It was called the Convertible. The body styling was very enclosed and it was running 17-inch wheels. Aramaki kept developing new bikes and their own two-stroke engines. There was another bike released in 1953, 125 and 150 power. Better suspension was a welcome upgrade to the new model as well. In 1955, the 125 4-speed two-stroke powered Monsoon was released, closely followed by a 150. Both of these bikes had even better suspension again. 1956 saw Aramaki release their first four-stroke machine, the Chimera. It was an overhead valve design, maintaining their lay-down engine configuration. In 1957, they expanded their range with a few sports models as well, powered by 175 and 250 overhead valve engines. By the end of the 50s, they struggled in the scooter market and chose to put their focus on the motorcycle instead. In 1960, Harley Davidson purchased 50% of Aramaki. Harley were looking to get into the small capacity market in the US. The easiest way to do this was to buy an existing manufacturer. With Harley Davidson now having a big say in the company, serious racing was put on the schedule. The big boys at the new company put their heads together and came up with the new name, Aramaki Harley Davidson. The first bike under the new name was based off the Alla Vera. This bike was modified to suit the American market and was named the Sprint. The first race bike to be built in saleable volumes for road racing was a 250 Weapon. This bike was actually a very quick bike for a first attempt and had lots of potential. Development of the bike continued until the mid-60s. The development was so successful that in 1966, the 350 version placed third in the World Championships. 2 years later, in 1968, a third place was achieved again. Then in 1969, it competed in the prestigious Isle of Man. The 1960s was a very revolutionary era for Aramaki. 1971 saw the development of a new twin-cylinder in 250 and 350 bikes. In 1972, Harley Davidson acquired 100% of the company. Manufacturing and development remained in Italy, and Aramaki was dropped from the name. In 1974, 75, and 76, the new Italian Harley Davidson took out the 250 World Championships and the 350 title in 1976 as well. In 1975, Harley Davidson could see again that the Japanese manufacturers had a huge market in the US motocross scene. They first built 65 motocross bikes that were different to what everyone else was offering. Harley dealers were not interested in motocross and the off-road scene. This bike didn't have the effect that Harley was hoping for. In 1978, they tried again, this time not going too far from the mainstream design, but using the development of their first attempt as the platform. A full production of 900 units were built, but the pricing and the fact that Japanese manufacturers had their bikes so well developed, it killed it. It didn't help that Harley dealers still weren't interested in dirt bikes. Funny how a bike that was far from a market success in its day is now very desirable and sought after. In 1978, we also saw the end of Harley-Davidson's ownership of the company. This probably didn't help the poor MX250 motocrosser either. The sale saw the birth of Cagiva. Manufacturing remained in the same factory where Aramaki started and was once again 100% Italian owned. I won't go into the Cagiva story here, as that part of the Aramaki story deserves its own video. Just for interest, the aircraft company that remained until 2003, when they merged with another aircraft company. Although the Aramaki name vanished from the motorcycle world when Harley-Davidson took full control, the legacy of this very original Italian manufacturer still exists today as far as I'm concerned. Even the factory location is still building the current generation of SWM motorcycles. This brand can be traced through the family tree to Aramaki. That's the short story of Aramaki. I've put this together with the way I see the story. Please excuse my Italian with the model names. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell and hit the like while you're at it. Leave any comments where I may have gotten things wrong or where you feel I've absolutely nailed it. You may even enjoy that other video that's just popped out down below. Hope to see you next time, and we'll catch you then.